Good evening. We'll go ahead and get started. We'd like to welcome everybody to our Board of Adjustment meeting. Today is Tuesday, October 2nd. I note that Joe is out, and so I am taking over for him for this evening. We hope him back. My understanding is Marshall is not feeling well tonight, so we wish him well as well. We'd like to just take a moment and introduce Tim Thompson. He's our new member. We'd like to welcome him. We're looking forward to working with him on the board. And with that, we'll get right to business. Let's go ahead and I'm going to change the order just a bit, and let's go ahead and go right into the public hearing. We're here tonight for a conditional use permit for a gymnastics facility. Let's take care of that. We can take care of our other business at the end, so we'll turn the time over to staff.
All right. Good evening, board members. Lovely to see you all. So tonight for your review, we have a conditional use permit for a gymnastics facility located at 212 Rodeo Drive. And the proposal is a change of use for a 4,360 square foot tenant space into a gymnastics facility. And the services provided will be gymnastics lessons and birthday parties, primarily catering to preschool-aged children. It will operate Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. with 50 students maximum per day served and 15 part-time employees. The location is within the Motor Business Zoning District, and the purpose of the Motor Business Zoning District is intended to provide for the location and grouping of compatible uses having similar operation as they involve enterprises which depend primarily on the transient motor vehicle-based trade. By concentrating such uses, the city intends to increase public convenience when utilizing such services and within the regulation to allow such activities to render the maximum service. Gymnastics schools are not permitted within the Motor Business Zoning District unless allowed with a conditional use permit. The subject property is located here, and you can just see some of the surrounding business uses such as Musco Building Supply and several car-related businesses, property management, just to get a feel for the area. And within this building, there's 3 other tenants, including DeVita Dialysis, Alliance Family Services, and Edward Jones as well. The subject property will be the 3rd one in. And so according to the Comprehensive Plan, Chapter 2, Community Character and Land Use, it designates the subject property's future land use as auto-urban commercial. Auto-urban commercial designated areas provide for commercial services and developments that are motor vehicle-oriented and those which require large amounts of land. These areas should be located adjacent to existing commercial developments and along major arterials where vehicle traffic can be accommodated. Developments within these designations should be required to provide significant landscaping, which would be applied to enhancing area along the street edge, screening parking lots, and buffering adjacent uses. Such areas are most appropriately zoned motor business. Chapter 3, Community Mobility, identifies Rodeo Drive as a collector street. Rodeo Drive branches off from Highway 95, which is a national highway. And a goal of Chapter 6 is to enhance and strengthen the regional economy, utilizing the strengths and assets of the region. So there was a transportation impact study done in this area, primarily looking at the intersection of Highway 95 and Rodeo Drive. And this looked at a proposed development, and in the study it included a 3,750 square foot automobile center, which is now Meineke Car Care Center, a 10-pump gas station with convenience market, 2 7,500 square foot mini storage units, 2,000 square foot veterinary clinic, 2,000 square foot fast food restaurant with a drive-through window, a 15,000 square foot general office building, and a 25-unit recreational vehicle park. And even with all of these in the study, the results indicated that the service impacts generated from the Parkview development would not adversely affect the existing intersection such that a signalized intersection would be required. So therefore, the existing street infrastructure could accommodate for the proposed gymnastics facility at 212 Rodeo Drive. And the Idaho Transportation Department has no concerns with this proposal either. So staff recommends approval for the proposed gymnastics facility located at 212 Rodeo Drive with no conditions, and the board shall direct staff to prepare relevant standards and criteria to be reviewed in an upcoming meeting. And with that, I can take any questions from you.
Anybody have any questions for staff?
No.
No, thank you.
No, thank you very much.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Well, with that, we will take public testimony at this time. I note that there are exactly 3 people with us this evening, so we would invite the applicant or your representative to come forward and tell us a little bit about your project, if you'd like. And if you'd state your name and address, just so we have it for the record, we'd appreciate that.
Good evening. My name is Shelley Bennett, and I live at 2279 Mosier in Moscow. I have represented the landlord, Jim Gress, and I'm here also representing the Palouse Empire Gymnastics. A little bit hat in hand. We were notified that we needed a conditional use permit significantly far into the project, and they've opened in this location. So I want to apologize for that, because it was a gymnasium before. I thought gymnastics, gymnasium. So I wanted to point out that I'm aware that what we've done is not exactly correct, and I have, we're here to correct that. So if you have any questions for me in regard to that, otherwise I'll let them speak
Great.
about their business. Thank you.
No, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Lynn Kindlespire. I reside at 918 Indian Hills. I am 50% owner of Palouse Empire Gymnastics with my husband, Mark, and we have been sole owners of the business since 2010. The business has been incorporated and in the city of Moscow since 1990. So we're about to celebrate 29 years of business, of serving children on the Palouse. When we approached Shelley about the space, I did also approach the state about the different permits, as well as I did call a lovely operator at the city and said, what other permits do I need? And she said, Moscow's pretty open. Are you a daycare? And I said, no, ma'am, I am not a daycare. She's like, okay, just check our website and see if there's anything else there. Make sure that your business fits into the zoning. So I went online and I found a document that was dated May 2018 and has a lovely chart that shows all the different businesses that are allowed in all of the different zonings. And it said health club or gymnasium facility, as well as sports arena. And I assumed that we were in the category of fitness facilities. So I didn't proceed any further because we were not a daycare and we're not a school, and those were the two other options. So again, I also apologize for maybe not completely understanding your code, but with the information that I was able to find, that was where we categorized ourselves. I was later informed by Mr. Belknap that that the city of Moscow has aligned themselves with the U.S. Bureau of Census on the different zonings and categorizations, and that has since changed, and he referred me to another website, and I was able to find that. So apparently, gymnastic schools, as well as ice skating and all those sorts of things, are allowed in motor business with the conditional use permit. So hence, we are here. So do you have any questions for me?
Has the business been running okay?
Absolutely.
Have you had any complaints?
Zero complaints. The parents are very happy. They have wonderful off-street parking that's flat. Their children don't have to go up and down stairs. It's clean. Everything is their size. It's been great. We've made friends with our neighbors on both sides of us, and things seem to be settling in quite nice on the property.
Great, thank you. Anybody else have any questions?
Well, I had a question. You said you've been in business for a while. I'm
Yes.
wondering where you were located prior to your current position.
So we actually now, this adds a second facility for us. So we, our main facility is at 810 North Almond Street, Building B. So just north of the Pad Mini Storage and Moscow Brewery. It's probably the best landmark there. So that's where we're currently located, and we've been there since 1999. Opening the second facility was to help us resolve an overcrowding issue that we were having at our current facility. So we've split our clientele, and so we have our little kids at the little facility and our big kids and our teams at the larger facility. So we're
And
running.
that seems to be working well for you?
It is running well. It is. It's yeah, everybody's settling in really nice, and it's less congested over on the Almond Street facility, and I think it's also a better teaching environment for the children.
So I'm curious, these are preschool,
Mm-hmm.
and so and your operation is from 8 till 7:30 at night.
Mm-hmm.
What's the hours of your other operation? And those would be kids in school,
Correct.
students, right?
Yep.
So they wouldn't have the same hours.
Correct. So
As
our Almond Street facility starts classes at 3:30, and we run until 8:30 at night. So it's just a 5-hour window. We used to have the morning classes at our larger facility, but now that's all shifted to the other facility. So to give specific hours at the Rodeo Drive, we are open Monday through Thursday from 9 to noon, and then we take a break in the middle of the day, and then we reopen again at 4, and then we shut down around 7. So the midday hours, there isn't anyone there really.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, thank you.
yeah. Anyone else?
Thank you. So by process of elimination, we're down to one. And if you would like to come up and address us, feel free to do so. You're not required to, but we want to give everybody out there an opportunity to say their piece if you so desire.
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, great. I'm speaking to everybody else, which is nobody else, but if there's anybody else who would like to come up and speak, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and close the hearing and deliberate and render decision. We're going to go ahead and close the hearing because there's nobody else to speak. So we'll start. Annette, any,
I have no objections to this CUP.
Steve, any concerns or issues?
No, it sounds like they're already open and they haven't got any complaints from the neighborhood. I think that's great, and I think it's a good use of the facility.
Tim, this is your shot.
I don't have anything really to share, but I agree, it seems like it's a good fit for that particular location and building. It's good to see a business expand.
Good. Well, do we have I know that the staff has presented a recommendation. I would be willing to entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the conditional use permit and have the staff do the criteria, relative criteria and standard worksheet that we need to review sometime in the near future.
And do we have a second?
I'll second.
I'm too new to second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We'll go ahead and vote. All those in favor of this conditional use permit, and it sounds like, Steve, you're just outlining, you're echoing the staff's recommendation on page 5 of the materials. Those in favor, please say aye.
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 It's unanimous. So this will be approved, and we'll go ahead and staff, you'll set us up and provide us some proposed relevant criteria and standards. We'll get that taken care of. We have one other item of business before we close this evening, and that is, thank you very much.
Good luck.
That is approval of the minutes from September 4th of 2018. This was a very brief meeting. It was our meeting to approve the relevant criterion standard from remember right, it was the storage units that are going in right across the street from where this is at. So, any additions or corrections? It was a 7-minute meeting, I think. Do we have a motion to approve those?
I motion to approve them.
Steve, I'm going to ask you to second if you're okay.
I'll second them.
Okay. And the reason I'm saying that is because Tim wasn't here to,
I don't think I can
Next.
vote.
he wasn't here to experience that meeting, so we
I
have
was
a,
absent, so.
oh, were you absent? Well, I was there and I would second it otherwise, so I'm not sure procedurally how we would do that, but anyway, it sounds to me like, at least the two of us who were there, we agree, and we'll take a vote for the formal record anyway.
I was there for the hearing, I just wasn't.
When
here.
there for the-
Yeah,
okay.
so I think it's second, the approval of what we discussed at the hearing, I think would be fine.
Okay, well, we'll go ahead and vote. And that you're going to vote in favor of the
Yes.
minutes? Okay, and I'll vote in
Aye.
favor of them as well.
I'll abstain.
You'll abstain, and
I'll vote in favor of them because I was at the hearing.
it's consistent. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and approve those minutes as well. And then what we need to do, I think, right now is probably figure out a time to meet to approve the relevant criteria and standards for this conditional use permit. And it's going to be a short meeting, I imagine, similar to this, but do we have,
So that wouldn't be at the 13 November meeting, this would be one in between.
Yeah, that's one in between.
Yeah.
Just a little short one.
I am gone a lot in October, things open up again in November, it just happens to be that way, but there's a chance we can pick a time. I mean, I'm
What do we
here
need?
most of the week of the
we
15th.
need 48 hours? Is that what we need?
Yeah, we generally shoot for 5 days in advance, but we can advertise a special meeting just to approve the relevant criteria and standards, and that's just 48 hours. So I think it's probably next week sometime. I think Ann's checking whether or not we have the room.
What about a Monday? Or we could, we've done it we did it in the Paul Mann building last time, which worked.
The earliest Monday I can be here is the 15th. I'm gone all next week.
We're probably not in as big a time crunch as we have been in the past, so.
Okay. I know Tim's gone. How about next Wednesday? 5:30.
Wednesday the 17th,
That's the 10th.
or Wednesday the 10th?
I'm not available on the 10th.
I'm
Close.
here.
Is there another day next week that would work?
You're out all next week?
Yeah, not even close.
Thursday.
Thursday works for me.
Does it have to be, can it be different members of the board even though they didn't hear the testimony?
yeah.
It can't, oh, then it shouldn't be a problem if I'm not here, I don't think.
Thursday the 11th works for me.
I believe the 11th works for me too.
Okay. So shoot for next Thursday, the 11th? Great.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll actually be downstairs in the mayor's conference room.
Okay.
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 And then do we have any other, we've got, if I'm not mistaken, it's the cell phone tower one that's coming up
It's November.
next
13th,
month.
yeah.
Okay, anything else in the meantime, or?
Not that we're aware of, no.
November what for the cell tower?
13th.
Okay.
Oh, and then for Thursday, the 11th, is 5:30 PM, is that when we're shooting for? Okay. Okay. With that, I move that we adjourn this meeting.
I can second that one.
All right. Thank you.
Way to go, Tim.
Good, I did something.